Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we are talking about my training for the World Series of Board Gaming at about 140 days out. When we're filming it, this is the last day of April, so we're kind of getting an update of what games I played in April. I think if you have watched so far, I think there's been two other videos like this. I'm continuing to do them monthly currently, but as we get probably within 100 days, we'll see if that changes at all, changes the pace of things, or changes the videos. Let us know in the comments below if you what types of videos you'd maybe like to see, maybe content related to the games I'm playing, or um, I will say most of them that I'm playing right now are on Board Game Arena. A few physical plays only, which I think I should probably get some physical plays in because obviously at the tournament it is going to be physical play and not online play. But yeah, so 140 days out, and yeah, currently I still have. If you watched the last one, I still have Cascadia, the White Castle, Acquire, and the Castle of Burgundy as the four games I'm going to be playing over the course of the tournaments.
Yes.
But I think this last month definitely has made me consider changing one of those, possibly.
Okay, and we
Not
will
two, but we will see.
we will see. We will see. But I'll kind of break it down. And there are 4 days of gaming at the World Series of Board Game. There are four, four available games each day, and you choose one to play. And in day one, you currently have chosen the White Castle. And then these other three here. And here we will go through the individual games and break them down month by month. So let's see the progress you have made on the White Castle. You have no progress on the White Castle. Zero games played. Listed that you played this year.
Yeah, that one's a bit disappointing because it is one Michaela likes, so I could see that one getting played in the physical form. And actually, I think it was actually just today or this week that I think it was already on Board Game Arena, but it was in beta. Have not played it there. I thought once it was on there, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get Pepper to play this. We're gonna finally get this played some, and I probably could have entered some games of it myself. But kind of that first game, I'm like, want to play it with Pepper so I can get a feel of it on there. And yeah, that just didn't happen. But now I think it is out of the beta and it is fully live. So now I think we have no excuses, Pepper. You have no excuses. We got to get this one played in May for sure.
Yes, for sure. I will hopefully play it. Yeah, I've been wanting to play it. And,
I
yeah,
think
we'll
you could
see.
like it.
We'll see. If you think I could like it, then I
But
may.
at the same time, I can see you hating it because it's
Oh,
going to be very AP inducing.
oh, yeah. Well, at least you're honest and you're not just lying to me to get me to play it. But yeah, not much to talk about with this one. And we move on to Brass Birmingham, one of the other options, one of your favorite games of all time. Uh, also no plays.
Yeah, that one's a bit tougher because that is not, I believe, on Board Game Arena.
And
For
Michaela does not like it.
and, and Michaela is, yeah, meh on it for sure. So I have not gotten this one to the table yet. I think I don't remember if I know I maybe said it for some games. I don't remember if it was this one in particular, but in the last video, I may have said that I think this one I'm gonna be happy if I maybe get like three plays out of it leading up to the tournament. So I would say for sure if I'm going to change this one, because he may be asking, is he going to change this if he's only had zero plays of the White Castle? But you will continue to see all these games and which ones I've played. I definitely don't think I would switch it to brass. So this would only come into play for me if I ended up making it to a future round, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that there's a high chance of that, but you never know.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if you just had to win one game to get through, but you would play the game multiple times. So like mini tournaments to move on. So it would take a lot, but at least you do have some experience with it if you do make it to it. but also not a lot to talk about with that. And then Terraforming Mars, another one of your two of your favorite games of all time. And I mean, White Castle could be moving up there eventually, soon. Also, just one play here. Who knows? Maybe that was on January 1st, and you
It
just
was.
it was. Wow. Okay, so the first day of the
Oh,
year.
wait. No, it was not. Never mind. That was a different one. That was
Okay.
Castle of Burgundy.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, wow, you're on track to make 365 games of this year, and um, nothing
Fell
said.
behind. But
But
yeah, this one's on Board Game Arena.
you have a lot of experience with this already.
Yeah.
You're pretty comfortable with it, I think.
Yeah, I think so, but I should probably get into it at least a couple months out on Board Game Arena and get a few handfuls of plays in. I think
Yeah.
that should be easy enough to. Uh, I like this one quite a bit. So
You try some of the crazy strats that you saw. I think you're obligated to bring up that you lost to the guy who ended up winning the
I
whole
do
room.
have to bring that up every time. And he's won all three times. So I mean, I did lose to a three-time, the only maybe three-time. I think it's the only three-time of the same game. Champion at the World Series of Board Game, ring winner
Yeah.
at the World Series of Board Gaming. But
Yeah, and I think you were actually helping him out. You're like, I think I would play this card if I were you. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I instead of hate drafting, I just was like, here, take these cards. Take the best of the best.
You win together, but he did not return the favor and let you keep one of the rings. So,
Unfortunately, he did not.
dang
Dang it.
it. And then the last game here. Hopefully, you played something from this day. And it is Azul. And you played this 9 times in
Wow.
the month of April. So 9 times since we last covered it. And you can see kind of the stats there. You played it 9 times. You won 4 of those games, lost 5 of them. So still a losing record there. Had a high of an 88 score, which you still lost that game, I think. I think it was this one. I'm like, that's like his highest score, and then someone like got into the hundreds, and I'm like, how do you get in the hundreds in Azul? Like they just barely cracked it. It's a crazy game.
That
Uh,
was a crazy one. I think I remember that. That one got pretty deep into the game where we were like filling a lot of the board.
yeah, yeah, because I
But
guess there is no set amount of rounds, so
right.
yeah, it can
So
be.
yeah, that one just played out a little weird.
Yeah, and
But I think I was always chasing, so I
oh,
had no reason to try to end it, and they just chose not to end it either. I don't know.
yeah. So maybe something like that happens in Vegas, and everyone gets hundreds and hundreds of points, and then a low of 42, which did not get lower than his previous low of 41. That is still his yearly low. But a little higher average than last time and brought it up zero point 0.9 points overall for the average. So almost a whole point higher after those 9 games of work.
That's not too bad. Not too bad. Getting a little better. And I'll say this is the change that I was thinking about possibly making. Is maybe going for Azul instead, just because it's a little easier to maybe practice. I've played it a lot more. Doesn't mean that I'm any better at it, but yeah. So we will see probably with some more plays of White Castle, especially. We're gonna have to pepper play it and invite some other people to play it because I think I've only ever played it 2 players, and I'm assuming at least some of the games in Vegas are going to be 3 or 4 players, and I think it's a pretty significant change with how the dice are placed when
Mhm.
you play
Yeah.
with more players. So I
Yeah.
think definitely would have to play that one quite a bit more, or else I might have to change it to
Mhm.
Azul.
Yeah. Me
Even though my win percentage is not
Yeah.
not great.
You're just worse than 50-50, but yeah, 15 total games of Azul. It's a lot easier to get into. That is true.
Mhm.
And then you move on to day 2, where you had chosen Cascadia with the other options of Earth, Ra, and Dune, Imperium Uprising. Then jumping into Cascadia, the first one here. Let's see what you did this month. You have one play of Cascadia here, but I think all of these plays have been a physical version.
Yes, they all have. I don't know if I know Board Game Arena does not have Cascadia, but I don't know if there's a Cascadia app at all. For some reason, I'm thinking there is,
It
but
seems like there should be.
I don't know. Um, but yeah, so these have all been physical plays. Probably the one I've probably played most in physical form, I think. It's a pretty easy one to get to the table as well. Oh boy, I'm 5-0. The loss is coming. I can feel it. Uh, but yeah, this one, yeah, I'm surprised only one game. This is another one that is a little easier to table. I think this month I just did not, we did not play that many physical games, just with, I don't
Yeah.
know, things coming up. So most of my plays, just in general, this month were all kind of board game arena
Yeah.
and some Gloomhaven. So now that has taken up hours of time going into the shout out to that. I think it's probably still available. I think that if you have or if you have Amazon Prime, you can get Gloomhaven digital for free, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
So go check it out if you've always wanted to play Gloomhaven and you have a Amazon Prime account. I
Yeah.
don't know where did you check that out, Pepper? Because I already had it, and then we and Pepper
Yeah.
got his free.
Yeah, I think you had sent me the site. We had an article talking about it. What was
Yeah,
the
I think if
name?
you look it up, I think if you look it up,
You
you'll
can look
probably
it
find
up.
it.
You can find it. You can find it. Because yeah, I couldn't navigate from the Amazon site very good, but then once I clicked on the link, then it took me to something that was with Amazon. So I don't know how to get there, but look it up, and you'll find your way. But yes, so that is why you are possibly costing yourself thousands of dollars by not being prepared to win.
Well, think of all that money you saved not buying Gloomhaven. I mean,
That's
that
true.
game is
It
almost
evens
thousands of
out.
dollars. So
It evens out. It evens out. But I think you have a good choice here so far with Cascadia, 5-0, by far your best game. And I mean, how I didn't it go hours in Vegas, one of the other years, the
I
gameplay?
think so.
I
That's
just
the one worry.
I don't know how they play it, and I don't know how different that is from us because it's always a very tight game, right around.
Hmm.
I don't know what this 90 game was that you had, but that's really bringing the average down. We're always around like 95 to 100. But yeah, I think you should be able to compete with this one. So I would not change it, but you have been playing a lot of Earth lately. You got four plays of it after having none for the first 3 months. You got four in April. I wonder if you're going to have five in May and six in June. Um, and you have a wide range of scores with a high of 298 and a low of 150, averaged out on the higher end for sure with 244. But you only won one game.
Yeah, I think this one was more or less. I hadn't played Earth in quite a while, actually. And that's for some reason in my head. I think it had been so long. That's why I didn't really even consider this to be one of my options for this day because I was like, yeah, it's a heavier game with a lot going on. But then obviously we got back to it. I think I played the first one with Pepper. Maybe did I play all of them with you, or did I play some? Must
I
have
think
joined some tables, maybe.
one. I think you might have played the other one with family or with Zach, other Zach.
Oh yeah, I did play one with
One
him.
or maybe both of the other ones, two of them with him, maybe. I forget.
Yeah. But yeah, this again is another game where I've only played at two players. I don't know how different it is at four. But yeah, you can see the wide range of scores there, half the score of my high. And I think that is another thing like Azul is it depends on kind of how quickly someone buys cards because I think in the high games, I was maybe able to play some really high scoring point
Yeah.
cards, but then of course it had taken me a long time to get the like soil to actually pay for them, and I think probably the 150 was one where I was like, maybe I was hoping to do something late, and they're like, nope, I'm gonna end this as quick as possible because I'm already beating you a little bit. So I think that's one thing I'm gonna have to learn about Earth. So any of you professional Earth players out there, let me know like, should I be going for those kind of what were they? They're like 10 plus cost soil ones, but then
Oh,
they can potentially have that, or they have that potential to score a lot of points. Let me know if, from what you've seen, if you are a really good Earth player, is it worth trying to get those, or is it, are those something that it's like, oh, you're probably better off just trying to go for the goals and trying to end the game quickly, somewhat quickly. I
yeah.
don't, haven't played Earth enough to know that. But
Yes.
it was one thing it made me start to question when yeah, you see that big of a difference. It's like, well, you gotta kind of know what you're up against because if you're expecting to have time to get almost 300 points and you only get 150, that's obviously the game played out a lot differently than you'd expected.
That's true. That's true. But the big question is, did you play Earth on Earth Day, April 22nd?
Ooh, I don't remember, did I?
I'll have to check if he did. If one of those games is on there, and I'll pop up a yes or no on the screen. But I just occurred to me, I'm like, that was April, wasn't it?
I didn't even think about that
It'd be funny if you did randomly.
unknowingly.
Yeah, I don't know how deep.
But
I feel like there's some meta, there's some strategies that could take over.
I think so. So yeah, let me know in the comments below too. What cards are ones that I should be looking out for? What are the top cards in Earth? Even though this probably like brass in almost all these games, uh, I'm only gonna have to play it if I make it on. So potentially, not even a for sure thing. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, Earth is a great game. I was reminded of. So
yes, and a
like, oh
great,
boy, we're getting near to our top this year. It'll be 80 games of all time, and I'm like. I think those plays are going to help Earth kind of maybe shoot up on my list. I don't remember where it was last year, but that's definitely going to help.
yeah, great game and great planet. The next up here is Ra, and no plays here, and you can blame your game group because nobody likes this game but us, and we can't play it just the two of us.
Yeah, and that's another one where it's reliant on the physical copy. I'm actually surprised this one isn't on Board Game Arena. It is I think it'd be a relatively easy one to do on there, but I suppose I don't know. Some companies don't like their games on there, and that's totally fine. But I would definitely be playing it if it was on there.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a nice one to play on there.
yeah,
But
and
hopefully get it played at some point.
yeah,
I think that one's at least easy enough that it's like probably don't need as much practice in that one.
yeah. And there's enough luck in there to even
Exactly.
odds. That's what I go for. That's why I picked Wingspan the one time that I played. I'm like, if I get a good hand to start or draw the right cards, I have a chance. And I was able to make it past the first round, but no further than that. And then next up, you have another one you only have one play of in all the year, and that is Dune Imperium Uprising. And you came close, but you did not win in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that game the winner had 11 points. So I think I came in second, but yeah, I just couldn't pull that one off, and this is another game that I think this one's going to be easier to get to the table than maybe some of those other ones. And it is one
Clearly.
that I played at four players.
Ooh, that's true.
So,
When you do play it, you have a much better chance of a higher player count with this one.
yes.
Yeah, so gotta get it played more. Gotta get it played more.
It is a great game.
I'll believe you. And then day three, the stacked day, we call it. Castles of Burgundy, Heat Pedal to the Metal, Lost Ruins of Arnak, and Wingspan. And you'll see, I think this has maybe the most plays, definitely of this week.
This
Uh,
month?
this month. Yes, this week. That too, this week too. But Castles of Burgundy, he had four plays in this month. You just like playing these games four times in April. I don't know what's going on with you. But again, only one win.
Ah, that's bad. That is bad. After a 3-0 March.
Yeah. Yeah, he bounced back from the 2-6 to a 3-0. And now he goes to 1-3. He's 6-9 overall with 15 games. Oh, not great. 230, 260. Didn't set a new high or a new low, but
Oof.
the average is right in the middle there. You brought it up 2.4 points, the average. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, one of these games was with family. So one of these was a four-player game. I
Yeah.
think that was a loss. So
Yeah.
uh,
You weren't last, but I think you were third.
I think I was third. Yeah, it was. It's also not great. I think was this the one I had? No, no. Someone else I think had the. I think Carson might have had the city or the one with it was the beige building one with like eight of them or something. She was able to complete that and scored a bunch right at the end. And I think Zachary had a lot of good stuff. I think I made a little bit of a comeback because I think I was quite far away and then came within at least a reasonable amount in that game. But
Yeah,
yeah, overall, not a good month for wins here. It's looking like bad month,
bad
but
month.
at least a decent amount of plays versus
That's
other months. I think. I think in total plays wise, I think I got a lot more in.
That is true. We will see the total plays kind of at the
Oh
end.
boy, maybe I'm lying. Pepper knows this.
We'll see. We'll see. We're going to hold you accountable, but I do always hold you accountable in Heat Pedal to the Metal, a game which you claim to never, ever, ever win. But we played this. We played one track, and then we played a championship that had four tracks within it. So I count them all separately because I believe you only play one track. And you ended up placing first twice, and then various amounts. I think you had like maybe a sixth and a seventh, and kind of right in the middle there, maybe a third. And you average 3.4 is how I decided to put it down there. It's a little different. You do get points, but I'm like, I'll just do placements because it's just confusing if you're like 9 points, 6 points. Nobody
Yeah,
cares about that. It's about first. Or
exactly. If you ain't first, you're last,
that's right.
as Ricky Bobby's dad always told him. Uh, but yeah, I'm actually shocked that I got a couple wins in this one. Yeah, I don't usually win. I didn't think I'd ever really won this, but then I think when I got the first of those two, I think it's like, oh, your third win of Heat. I'm like, that is a lie. Trying to gaslight me into thinking I've won this before. I'm like, I do not win Heat. But I probably have had some wins, but for the number of games or laps of it that or races, different tracks, like you said, the championship ones are really like three or four.
Yeah.
Um, I barely won any of those, I would say. So, um, yeah, I'm actually shocked that I actually have two wins. But I think this time I was trying to play a little more risky, and I was trying to uh, utilize my heat, even if it meant going down to zero heat, which is something I feel like I must not have done before because there was even one of those that I won that I was going to. If you've never played Heat before, there's like these corners and turns where you have to take them a certain speed. You can only go so fast, or else you have to burn some of your. There's these heat cards, and they're kind of just like they muddle up your deck a little bit. They because it's a little bit of a deck builder, kind of, not really a deck builder, but I guess that's what I'd call it. I don't know what else you'd call it. You're not really building it though, I guess. I don't
But
know.
the turns play like a
But
deck builder's turns.
they play like a deck builder, and you muddle up your deck with these heat cards, and you use them to do powerful things. But anyway, what I was going to say is the way I would normally play it, I would, and the way I was originally going to, I was like, oh, I've got to slow down kind of right before that space. But then I was like double checking and counting in my head, and I'm like, well, actually, I have just enough heat cards to play it this way and to get past that turn. And I think I just have to be more willing to, especially towards the end of the race,
Yeah.
making sure, seeing if I can get past those, because I think it was like one of the last turns in the race, or one of the last corners, and I think that I mean that ends up kind of saving you like potentially two, is it two turns? At least one turn,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
to finish the race. If not, maybe two, because I'm like, otherwise I would have stopped there, and then I would have had to take another turn of not much distance, and
Mhm.
then be able to go again. Whereas now, potentially, I could go right into that next one. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that ended up being one that I won. So I was like, I wonder how many times I've done that in the past. But
Mhm.
then another one that I did lose, I could have maybe won. I could have actually almost been 3-2 because
Yeah.
I also messed up in that one. I thought I was in the last lap, and I put myself in a terrible position, and I was shocked because I think I still came in like,
I think
was it third or fourth or
you
something?
still got third.
Which I had thought because I had to. Then that was terrible. I don't know if I've ever like missed a turn. I don't think I've ever missed a turn in Heat, but that was the first time that had happened to me because I could not actually play. my cards. I only had two playable cards, and I was in fourth gear, and I had no heat left to shift down two gears. So I got to skip a turn, so I got to see what that was all about.
Yeah. Yeah, you think spinning out at a corner is punishing. How about just doing absolutely nothing? Yeah, it's not good.
No.
But you got that experience under your belt now, so.
Now I'll make sure it's the last lap.
But still probably not going to pick this, I assume.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
There's two other great options here.
Yes, and one of them is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yeah, this one I gotta get this one played maybe. I gotta try to remember to play it like once a month maybe. I
Yeah.
think that's about all I really need for that one. I think overall I halfway decent at the game, but
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, if you're ended up having to play it, you can just do it, learn it, play it all night. Something like that has been known to be
exactly.
done in the World Series. And then the last game I believe here is Wingspan. You got 9 games of this one this month. I believe all
Was
of
I really 7-2?
you were 7-2. Although one of them, I believe, no, one of the Azuls was a tie, but I gave it to you. Um,
Oh,
and then, but this one, yeah, win, 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 loss, loss. And we
well.
played twice, but I think you beat me in both of them. I would like to say that I was both your losses, but yeah, this was you tied your high score from a previous month as well and did not sink as low as your low. An average of
Yes.
91.8, which brought it up 3.2 points overall, which in Wingspan, that's a pretty big deal. Uh,
It's a pretty big jump. But yeah, that first month, oh, I must have had a few lower scores then. Because yeah, 81 to then 92 to 91.
yeah, first month you had a 79, 90, 84, and 73.
Oh,
So a couple in the 70s. Which this month you had only one in the 70s. Everything was above it, so.
nice. Was that a win?
That one was that one was a win. That one was a win. I think that
Interesting.
that was probably against me. I've had a couple bad games recently.
But yeah, this is probably my other option of if I'm going to change one, I would possibly change Castle Burgundy to Wingspan, but we'll let it play out a little bit more. But yeah, this is the day of reckoning because I would much rather have one of these two in the next
Oh, yeah.
day.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just unfortunate that these two are in the same day because I really love both these games and I think I could at least somewhat compete. Am I saying, oh, I'm going to easily dominate, wipe the field? No, I'm not going to be able to do that, but I feel like I can at least maybe hang, but maybe not. Maybe I get to the finals and these people just wipe the floor with me, and I'm like, well, I know next year I'm not going to do that game.
Yeah. Yeah. But maybe you're overlooking some games in the next day. Let's just take a look at them. Nope, you're not. My goodness. You got Acquire, which we'll see how much you played these games, but Acquire, Ark Nova, Great Western Trail, and Splendor. So looking at Acquire, you have 0 plays of it. Have you acquired a copy of Acquire?
I have the 60th anniversary edition.
Okay.
So, Pepper, you need to get here and you need to play it. You'll
Yeah.
love this game. You'll love this game, Pepper. Sneaky sneak.
Have
But
you
yeah, I have not actually ever played
have
Acquire.
you
So
studied it? Have you looked at it? Have you watched things
I watched
recently at
I
least?
watched a World Series of Board Gaming playthrough of it.
Okay.
That's been a couple of months ago now. So I I thought at the time I was like, okay, I think I could do this. I don't know that I'd be great at it because there is a bit of a memory aspect to it. Um, and that part I don't know if I'd be great at because you kind of have to remember how many shares different people have to know if you're getting, 'cause I think you want first or second most shares when something gets acquired. So kind of remembering or maybe it's only first. It's been a while. But yeah, so that's the only part I'm a little nervous about because I'm like, I don't always have the best recall memory like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know if you've got any tips or tricks on Acquire since it is a game that's been around for quite a while. So I'm guessing there are some experts out there.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate any tips.
Yes. And Ark Nova, another one. No plays of it this year.
Scary.
Very scary.
But
Very
this one
scary.
is on Board Game Arena, so
Oh, yeah.
this is another one that I should maybe try to get once a month kind of thing, I think.
Yep. Yeah. And another one that Michaela liked. Uh,
Yeah, she probably would actually play it. And I think if we did play it, I'd probably have or like leave it out and try to play it like twice within the same week or something, just to get a couple. It's a lot easier. I guess I don't know. Setup's not like crazy, but just enough of a pain that I'm like, eh.
yeah. Yeah. And then we go Great Western Trail.
Same with this one. But
Nope.
this one's also on Board Game Arena, so
No. Yep.
might have to play that a couple times. Did I play it with you once? On
I have not played it. I don't
I
think
swear
so.
I played it with someone on Board Game Arena. I thought it was you.
In the year?
No, not this year.
Okay, a different time. I don't think I did. I don't think I did.
Hmm.
Maybe. Now you're putting it in
Eh,
my head. I'm like, did I? I don't know.
Maybe I was hoping to maybe I played with someone else and I was hoping to play with you and maybe we just never did.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
I don't know.
And then the last one, Splendor, which no plays of this one as well.
Well, at least the three that I'm not playing are all on Board Game Arena, so
That's true.
and the one I am playing is not. So that was really smart of me. But Splendor, this is another one. I think like Great Western Trail, especially. I don't know about Ark Nova quite as much, but I think at least those two are ones where I think there is another level of play going on in those games that I am not. I don't know. I'm just not at that level, and I'm like, oh boy, it's. I would have to play. I'm guessing at least tens and tens of games of it, if not hundreds of games, of Great Western Trail, especially. Maybe not Splendor, but uh, Splendor's depending on what happens with Acquire and how much I get it played. I might switch to Splendor, but I've never, much like Heat, I've never been good at Splendor. I almost always lose. Just because I try building. I love engine building in games, and that can be a problem in certain games like this, or I think Everdell, it's kind of a problem to some aspect. If you do too much engine building and not focus enough on actually scoring, can be a problem. And I think the way that they play from some of the videos I've seen there is definitely if I try to play my game that I've usually always played, they're definitely going to smack me around. I may get 1 point.
That's true. This can go by quick, a game of Splendor, and I'm sure it will in Vegas. So, yeah, but it's also the simplest, so it could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why if I came down to it and I'm not playing Acquire, I'd probably just switch it to Splendor just because I have played that and at
yeah,
least kind of know what's going on.
yeah,
Not great at it.
yeah.
Probably before the tournament or whatever, before the potential, I'd go back and watch the video from the prior year and see exactly what cards I have to take to win.
Yes. But yeah, then wrapping it all up with the monthly stats of everything. Oh my God, so many things of the ones that you have chosen to play. You are currently 11 and 9, added 2 wins and 3 losses this month. All the rest, you are 21 and 21. You added 14 wins and 13 losses, so wildly outplaying your chosen games. And in total, you've added 16 wins, 16 losses for an overall of 32 and 30 for the year. And a random, meaningless stat, you've scored 6,772 points in board games of these.
Wow. 16 and 6. It felt like I had a way worse month than that because maybe I was thinking heavily about I don't know. Maybe Castle Burgundy was weighing it down in my mind because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I felt like I lost like every game of that, and I pretty much did. But I think it must Wingspan really saved it. I think. Uh, I did not realize that I went 7-2 in Wingspan. I didn't think I played that well either. So I was really shocked when you showed that, and I still don't know if I believe you. I might have to go look myself. But yeah, that's crazy. 50%, and that's about where I'm at. We'll see by the end of well, not the end of the year, but by the end of this another 140 days, we'll see if we can keep the wins above. It's still currently above. We will
Just,
see if we can
just
keep that up,
barely above water.
barely above water. And yeah, what amount of points should I shoot for before the World Series of Board Gaming? What
Yes.
should be the challenge? Pepper, do you think I can get to 100,000 points?
Oh my goodness. So you're
That's
just
too much.
you're
I don't know. I'd have to look at how many points I actually get per game.
yeah, just stop playing Heat altogether.
I gotta play Earth a bunch.
Yes, exactly.
Gonna determine which games I play, but yeah, gonna definitely have to shoot for 100 wins. I think
Yeah.
gotta go
Yep.
for that. But yeah, that's a recap of where I'm at right now. Let me know in the comments below what kind of other videos you'd maybe other content you'd like to see on this. But yeah, subscribe if you want to see next month's video. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.